If you've got news, views or events you'd like to share with us and the Chat City team, why not give us an email? chatcity@preston.fm.
Now in the studio, my guest is Ros Gearing, and Ros is from Vet Plus in Lytham. And a very good morning to you, Ros.
Good morning.
Lovely to see you again, and it ties in nicely with our Cats of the Week there, and we're quite lucky in usually being able to help them reown the cats. And I mean, Vet Plus, lots of people will know Vet Plus from various products, but I know there was a report out recently that also applies to pets as to human beings. I think it was last week, where there was concern from the medical profession about the fact that often doctors and they stated vets will give out too many antibiotics, and because of the number of antibiotics in use, the fear is that they're not having the impact both on human beings and on animals that they would have had previously, and the fear, of course, is for the future that the impact will be even less. I mean, is there a way of looking after animals, do you think, with reducing drug use?
Well, that is really very interesting, actually, because I think vets are terrible culprits. I mean, I am one, so hopefully I can blame us as a group for using antibiotics not necessarily in the most prudent way. And part of the reason I think for that is owner expectation, because when you take your pet to the vet, you know you're doing that because you think there's a problem, and you want the vet to do something actively to help with that problem. And the most difficult thing as a vet is to not give any medications or drugs or anything like that. But actually, you know, there's a lot of very easy ways to look after, conditions, simple infections or cuts and scrapes on the skin, that don't involve antibiotics. And I think because we have such a wonderful plethora of drugs available to us these days, it's easy to reach for them when actually sometimes, we could keep it old school. And use more traditional methods to help simple problems.
And when it comes to research, maybe of alternatives to drugs, are we very active in the field of research at looking what maybe will help pets to stay healthy in the future?
Well, there is a certain amount of research out there. I mean, the problem is that certainly at Vet Plus, we make a load of nutraceuticals, make a whole load of products that we call nutraceuticals, so that they're not drugs, but they have kind of a pharmaceutical type benefit. Now, that industry is unregulated, so we don't have to provide a load of research backing up our products, but we do try to do so, and we have a wonderful, very, very clever team of scientists in our research and development department, and we do research, but there's a lot of other companies out there who make all sorts of products that don't have a lot of research behind them, and if the industry was regulated, that would mean that the whole standard of products that were out there would improve, because part of the problem is when people use the lesser quality products, that maybe don't have so much thought behind them. If they don't work, that puts people off, reaching for supplements and nutraceuticals again.
And it is a bit of a minefield, because without maybe going to a vet and talking to a vet about the range of what's available out there, how do people find out? I mean, is there advice online? Is there ways that people can find out about what is best for their pet? I'm talking about non-drug use now, not about the drugs that are prescription type drugs, but about the off-the-shelf type availability. How do people find out maybe what is best for their pet?
Well, it's actually very difficult. So we work quite closely with a lab called the International Centre for Nutritional Excellence, who tests some products, and human and animal products And do you know there's no way of knowing really? So even for you or I, if we wanted to buy, say, a joint supplement,
yes,
loads of people are on glucosamine chondroitin,
right,
for creaky joints. And this company tested some of those products available in the shops, and 6 out of 10 of them failed the test. So they didn't meet label claim. So what was in them, there was no way near what they said on the label. Sometimes shockingly much lower, and the same is true in the veterinary world. So things that we can buy in the shops, things that you can buy in pet shops. It's very, very difficult to know whether it's going to be a good quality product, or whether it's just something that they've thrown together and put in a nice shiny box. Because, as I say, it's completely unregulated. So there's nobody watching over these people. So I actually, working for Vet Plus and realising all these things, even though I believe in all these supplements, has put me off. I don't want to buy these things for myself anymore because I don't believe any of them, because you can't know.
Right, unless as you say, it is through a reputable
exactly.
Organisation or trader. And the other area is nutrition, of course, because I know from having pets over the years, that it's a minefield out there when it comes to nutrition, or finding out the right kind of food for your cat, for your dog, or any other kind of pet. What usually is the advice that is given around nutrition, or to people who maybe are going to get a pet?
Well, it is very difficult. The pet food market is saturated, so it's very important to feed, especially for dogs, for the breed size, because obviously a Great Dane has completely different requirements to a Chihuahua.
Yes.
Yes. That's obvious, but also the life stage. So certainly as well with large breed dogs, it's very important to feed them a large breed puppy food, because they're growing so quickly when they're young. So feeding for the type of animal and for the age they are. So for example as well, older cats are quite unique in that their calorie requirement goes up as they get older. So that's the opposite way around to dogs. So whereas you get a lot of fatter older dogs,
that's
you get
why
a lot
the
of
cat
thin
at home
cats.
is meowing a lot more probably then. I didn't
Oh
realise
well,
that.
there could be other reasons for that, but we won't go into that. So you get a lot of thin cats and older cats, and also older cats have certain problems. There's only 2 or 3, but very commonly affect older cats, and so again, it's really important to kind of realise, the cat's getting a little bit older now, and look for a geriatric feline diet. Not just go and pick up the kind of the average dog or cat food from the shop the whole way through the pet's life. You're better definitely splashing out a little bit of extra money on a high quality life stage specific diet.
And again, things in the world, as the world with human beings often changes in the medications and what is available. Is one of the important rises in supplements, etc. Is it around the use of behaviour these days? Do people tend to use things more in ways to change or control behaviours of pets? What are some of the modern trends these days on the market that people are looking for?
Oh wow, that's really interesting. But the behavioural market is very interesting, and owners are very interested by it, and vets and nurses. When I go around to these various talks, the behaviour talks are always very popular, so I think owners are very into that, because also we're very busy, so quite often people aren't at home so much with their dogs, and so training and behaviour techniques that maybe could be drummed in a bit more if you're at home more, now are more difficult because dogs are being left a little bit more. Another thing, actually, you've already sort of mentioned antibiotic use. So, one of our products, which is for just simple cases of cystitis, simple bacterial cystitis cases, that's really growing in use at the moment because of all of this, hype at the moment about not using antibiotics, which is great, really, because, I fully believe that we should try and reduce antibiotic use to only when we absolutely need it.
Right. And I mean, the trends in the different supplements that come along, I mean, are they is it led by kind of the market, or is it led by demands of pet owners, the changes in supplements that are available, etc.?
I think, well, I'd like to think hopefully it's led by vets. So current or new emerging research about conditions, that comes out and vets become aware of, so then they change their prescribing habits based on that. I think, that would be in an ideal world. It's not always the case, because vets are paid by their clients. And so if there's a popular trend that changes, then they will be guided by, people coming in and wanting something.
And of course, again, important as you as a vet, the message is around, and we just mentioned it there from Cats Protection, is neutering and the use of regular parasite treatment. Yeah. I mean, that really is important, isn't it, in looking after your pets?
Yeah, definitely. So preventative health is very important, and I think people are pretty good at realising, the importance of these things. But, obviously, the skin problems that can relate from having parasites, gut problems from worms and all of that, and prevention is so much better than cure. And, all the problems that are related to keeping, their reproductive organs, the incidence of mammary tumours goes down massively if you neuter.
Right.
Yeah. So it is something that is pretty important to keep up. Be a responsible pet owner. If you're not going to breed from your pet, if there's no reason that they need to stay intact, then usually neutering is a good idea in kind of preventative medicine terms.
And when I was mentioning to somebody who were on the show today, she was saying, should we give our dog a vitamin tablet? And I mean, I know that's questions often with us human beings, isn't it? Or should we give pets vitamins?
Well, they should get their vitamins in their food. They have vitamin requirements just like us. They need, all the vitamins like we do. There are also essential amino acids that they need, so the building blocks of protein. So a good quality dog or cat diet will provide everything that the pet needs. And again, that's why it's important, because cats have extra amino acid requirements than dogs. So a cat can't survive on dog food, for example. So as long as you're feeding a good quality food and the pet is eating enough of it, then they should get all that they need. Now, of course, there are always problems, if a pet is being bullied in the home, or there's fussy eaters, or if there's a particular high demand for some type of nutrient or other because of a medical condition, then you can supplement. So obviously that's why we're here. So Vet Plus, obviously we've found a niche in making all sorts of things, and we do just make a general vitamin and mineral kind of tasty paste as well. So if people are worried, then they can just supplement, which is often useful, for those with picky dogs.
I was going to
say,
it sounds quite something, a tasty what is it, a tasty paste?
Yeah, it's I say it's delicious. To me, no, not delicious. So dogs and cats, pretty delicious. And I talked to somebody about it just last week. They were talking to me about a dog that would only eat chicken. And I said, just sticking to kind of patterns, I said, oh dear, is it a small dog? A chihuahua.
A very fussy dog.
Yeah, very fussy dog. They're often the small ones. And she said, no, it's a husky. And I thought, wow, a husky that only eats chicken. They must be spending a fortune
on chicken.
On chicken. So, yeah, I mean, the chicken won't provide everything a dog needs. So, in that situation, and, you can think of loads of examples where a vitamin and mineral supplement that's delicious goes down pretty well.
Yeah, I take it the husky thinks, wow, I'm on a lucky number here. I get all the chicken I want in the world. So
that husky has got their owners wrapped around its little
another
finger.
One. Yes, another pet one. Well, Ross, can I thank you for coming in this morning? I know we'd been hoping to have Ian, our other vet, our Chat City vet. I think Ian's with us on the 10th of June. but I'm pleased that you could make it this morning. Just tell us the website where people can find out more about the various products that might be right for their pet.
Yeah, so it's www.vetplus.co.uk.
Brilliant. Well, hopefully we will sort the dates out when yourself and Ian are in the studio together. It's been really quite difficult because both of you lead so busy a life and I just sit here every morning. So can I thank you for coming in this morning and hope to see you very soon. Thanks, Ross.
Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
103.2 Preston FM.
Your community.
Your radio.